everyone, I'm Alanah and welcome to Button Bash. Battlefield developer DICE has been asked when the next Battlefield Bad Company game might be coming out, since Battlefield Hardline was somewhat unexpected and looks a little bit too much like Battlefield 4. Bad Company 2, which came out in 2010, sold nearly 6 million units, but DICE has said that they just aren't sure what gamers enjoyed about a game, which makes the sequel a little bit difficult. Bad Company and Bad Company 2 both have pretty excellent scores on Metacritic, and there are countless reviews explaining what specifically people enjoyed about this game, so it feels like a lazy excuse. It's also very odd. Aren't they basically saying they don't like their own game? A handful of documents have been leaked of The Witcher 3, apparently detailing or even spoiling the story. CD Projekt Red have come forward and advised people not to look at the documents because it could ruin their experiences, which confirms the leak is genuine. They also reassured everyone that the leak won't affect the development cycle in any way, but I'm betting they're still pretty pissed. Apparently the document reveals a total of 64 monsters and 174 music tracks, which sounds pretty spot on considering the scale we've been promised within The Witcher 3. The leak was supposedly obtained when someone managed to hack into a Google Drive. Think you've been playing a little bit too much Watch Dogs there, buddy. A modder called XBL Toothpick has managed to make Grand Theft Auto 5 first person in a series of YouTube videos. Using a modded Xbox 360, he or she used a script to change the game's perspective, and while it's far from perfect and a little bit glitchy, it totally changes the look of Los Santos. This is particularly exciting for me because it means that we could potentially eventually play GTA 5 with virtual reality headsets like the Oculus Rift. VR doesn't work well if a game isn't first person, and GTA would be an absolutely fantastic game to wander around since the city already feels so alive. Murdered Soul Suspect is a game made up of really interesting concepts, some really interesting characters, and an overall unique take on the classic Ghost game, but it's just very obviously low quality and feels a little unfinished. I played it on the Xbox One, though it is also available on PC, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and the Xbox 360. The game starts off with our suitably broody protagonist, Detective Ronan O'Connor, being thrown out a window to his death by a man known as the Bell Killer, who has murdered various people in the town of Salem in Massachusetts. Ronan had actually been working on the Bell Killer case before he died, so to be able to cross over into the light, he has to resolve his unfinished business, find the murderer and catch him. The twist there is that you have to do it all as a ghost. As a ghost, Murdered Soul Suspect is mechanically different from most games you play. You can't pick anything up, but you can walk through some walls or possess people and read their minds or influence them to do some small things. Unfortunately, all of these things are largely useless, or at least mundane, outside of the extremely tightly scripted story and occasional side quest. You can eventually poltergeist some items, which will occasionally temporarily distract people, and the overall purpose of that is for you to sneak your human companion in the story, Joy, through various locations so she can actually help you. Since most humans can't see you and you can't touch anything, it would be very damn hard to achieve much without a human companion, and Joy is a great one. A great, independent, relatable character with seriously brilliant voice acting. Joy is a young medium too. She can see you and she's equally interested in finding the Bell Killer. So you have to sneak Joy through locations so she can help you. You might need to poltergeist a coffee machine to distract a guard, and then do it again to a security camera so she can sneak past both and interact with the living people on your behalf. I guess you could say it's a stealth game, but for the most part, the stealth is on Joy's behalf, and you just create the opportunities for her like a puzzle. It is actually a really effective way of presenting a puzzle, and certainly unique, though there's little to no challenge involved there at all either. That said, there are occasional combat sequences that require you to use stealth too. The game has demons, and demons can see you and kill you fairly easily, though they are very uncommon. For whatever reason, you can only kill them if you've approached them from behind and completed a quick time event, but if they catch you before you do, you have to run and hide in these ghost souls that are scattered around. The first time I encountered a demon, I was terrified and I was concerned I wouldn't even be able to finish the game at all because it scared me so much. I walked through a wall and bam, the thing saw me and tried to chase me. I jumped into one of the ghost fragments, then jumped to another and another, like a teleportation kind of system, until the demon eventually gave up searching for me. But beyond that first encounter, which was only scary because I wasn't expecting it, it never scared me at all. The game actually makes this awfully loud, oh crap, demons kind of noise every single time you've entered a room that has one. It's even really easy to hide if you mess up, though this does require a little more tactics than the rest of the game. And even though there are creepy ghosts scattered around that just stare at you before disappearing, nothing about the game is actually scary, it's just a little eerie. Perhaps dull is a better term. The whole game world is really, really dull and ghostly. But that's unfortunately not the only big flaw. The game is also quite broken. To interact with clues in crime scenes, which will answer a specific question for you, you have to press X on a certain item to inspect them. Simple enough, but for whatever reason, you must be looking at the item in a really specific way to prompt the inspect to come up. Sometimes you can walk about a room for half an hour trying to find all the clues, but only on the 10th time walking up to a wall, it'll finally be on the right angle for you to actually be able to press X to inspect it. While you do get told outright how many clues there are, you never know what the clues are. They aren't highlighted in any way, which is probably a good thing, being that it's the only challenging part of the whole game really, but clicking on them sure can be hard with an Xbox One controller at least. Even the clues you do interact with are often overly simplified, and you're faced with the task of picking a correct one to answer a specific question when you enter a room. If you pick the wrong clue to answer the question, there's no punishment. You can cycle through every single clue to eventually get your answer. Or sometimes the answer is just so obvious that even looking for clues to have to answer the question seems really dumb. The game lacks any challenge at all, honestly, outside of that aforementioned button stubbornness. Overall, it is very consistently interesting. Murdered Soul Suspect offers up a ton of new ideas that complement the story really effectively, which aside from super lame romance subplots, is a good one. While I genuinely enjoyed it and was super excited as the story built up to climax towards the end, it's a very broken game, or at the very least, an unfinished one.
I don't know. It just seems so demented.
Demented? I gotta find this crime scene before they cart away all the evidence.
I'm Alanah, and thanks for watching Button Bash.